I am Barbara Muckle from Barbara Muckle Coaching. I want to ask you a question. Do you know that it's not about earning more, having more to create financial freedom? Do you know that? It's not about earning more. It's about what you do with what you have. You see, the thing that I went from wondering how I'm going to make the one end meet to today teaching women like you about building financial freedom beyond divorce. There's no doubt that it is a struggle when you get divorced. One of the main things that we struggle with as women is our finances. And in many cases, we're left holding the bag of nothing. Last. And in more cases than one, we are left with the children too, in many cases. And so it's how we create this balance. The struggle is real. What do you do when you have mouths that need to be fed? And I know that many of you put yourself aside to make sure that your children have a place to sleep, food to eat, and to have some clothes on their backs. So it's a struggle. So it's really and truly not about what you're earning, if you're earning at that time, because it's so true that sometimes when you're divorced, you need help. You have to get help from somewhere else. You have, in some cases, you have to have the state to help you, right? And so when you come to this place where you're thinking about your finances and you're thinking about how you're going to make it, as I said, the one salary now for that, then you have to, without a doubt, prioritize, right? And so in prioritizing, you're saying what comes first. And we know that you have to have shelter. We know that the bills have to be paid. We know that food has to be on the table. And we know for nothing, clothing, right? One of the things that helped me when I was going through my divorce was that I looked at, yes, I had to pay the rent. And sometimes, trust me, I was late with the rent. I was blessed with some very good landlord and sometimes so not so good landlord. But let me tell you something, when you have partnership, it's either the wife is very good or the husband is very good. So it's one always advocating for you if you're a good tenant, right? When I was renting. And that worked for me. So even if I was late, I had a balance. I had deposit goodness along the way. I sown some good seed. And so I got favor. I would receive favor from those landlords in order to stagger my rent, not paying on the first, but, in a week later. And so it's taking from Peter to pay Paul, right? But one of the things that really helped me was the envelope, using an envelope system. And the envelope system lets you tell your money exactly where you want it to go, right? So if this was envelope for food, right? And this goes here. Envelope for rent, it goes here. Envelope for washing, because we had to go to the laundromat and wash. And I also had an envelope, which was a struggle because I had my daughter in private school, was a struggle to put an envelope away to make sure that every month I am meeting that need. Boy, I tell you, I don't know how I did it. It's by the grace and favor that I was able to do that, right? But if you cultivate an envelope system, and you didn't hear me say budget, right? I'm going to go there. An envelope system, and the thing is that you have to look at it is that once you're telling yourself where your money is going, you're actually budgeting. So you don't have, when you're finished with prioritizing and compartmentalizing the most important things that you need first in the way they go, is that then there is no place for the other tidbits where you would go and you would just go and buy something. No. So you have no space for that. So telling your money where they go is very, very important. And it's hard to get to that place. But let me tell you something, you'll have good night rest. You'll have good night rest when you know what you have, you know where they go, where it's going, and you know what else you have, right? Another thing that really worked for me, once your kids start to understand, and I'm speaking to individuals who have kids, and if your kids are able to understand, and you should start to tell them and feed them the information early. You let them know, mommy don't have enough money, and mommy can't afford this or that. And I learned along the way, which information I was given was to bring my kid shopping, right? To take her shopping. But now also is to let her shop. The kids love to run around and they throw things in the cart and throw things in the cart. Yes. And what you need to do is to let them know how much money you have. What we do is that we try to sugarcoat things, that we want it to look good and beautiful. And we struggle when the children are sleeping at night. We're struggling as to, how am I going to get this for them, right? Be honest with them. Oh, those little ones, they understand. Tell them, mommy don't have this, but we can do this now. And when you take them to the store, give them the money to pay. When they realize that they don't have enough money, they are going to do just, what do you think we can put back? We're teaching them to budget at the same time. We're teaching them to understand that it's not everything that you see that you can get at the same time. Because if you are going to learn to live like no one really wants to live right now, then later on you'll be able to live like no one else can. Yeah, right? And we know that comes from Dave Ramsey. Yeah, it's like budgeting. And it's like, you cannot live like everybody is living right now. You teach your children that's foundation. Let them know what you have, and let them, and just be honest with them, and they're gonna understand. Hard, it's tough when they see their friends with other things, but it's a teaching moment. You get those moments where you're telling them it's not about what the next person has, it's about what we can afford right now. They do understand. And so again, give them an envelope too. Give them an envelope too. My daughter, we used to have one for vacation, right? Our vacation was staycation, they call it nowadays, but we would take little trips, mom and daughter trips, and we would go into the city, or whenever we can. On the weekends we would spend some time together, but they had their little bit in their envelopes, and you're teaching them. Divorce and the financial challenges that we faced along the way, it can be jarring. It actually pulls on you. But if you have a steady head and you know what you want, you'll come out better on the other side. Um, I, over the years, you know, I really and truly asked myself how did you do this, and how, and I started asking my friend when my friends were asking myself when my friends were asking me, how did you do this? How did you do this? How did you do this? And I started asking myself, how did you do it? And like I said, if you're renting somewhere, is that you have to, without a doubt, you have to sow seed of kindness. You have to build that rapport with your landlord. They have to pay their bills too. So it's not like they're going to give you a free ride. But if you're running late, respectfully let them know that you're running late, and they know, you know. So because after the 16, they got to pay that bill, honestly. So you have to know, you know, where it's coming from. Don't try to live above your means. It's not like you're trying to live like the others. You're trying, you know, your best and doing your best on the one salary. Remember, you're coming from two salary. Now you have one, and what you have to do is to work with what you have. And so if you're compartmentalizing and strategizing, then you'll be able to go from month to month, and you'll be able to meet those bills. And the don't play with credit cards. Do not play with credit cards, because playing with credit cards is going to get you in more trouble. And I know you know that, and I'm not saying anything that you don't know. I'm just letting you know the way how I approach, and I was able to deal with all the expenses that I had when I got divorced. Did I do it all by myself, just come up with, yeah, no. I actually was favored, like I told you. I used strategies that I learned along the way, but I also had the support of a coach that really helped me along the way. And if you watch out for my videos a little bit more, I tell you about all the embarrassment, I would call it. But when I came face to face with all my bills, it was just so embarrassing. But I had support, because I had a group of people that was supporting me. I was supporting them with our coach during that time, and learning how to build, how to stay on budget, and learning how to make my money and tell my money where I wanted it to go. I was just fortunate. It's the free one that I was fortunate to have. And this sister just gave her time to help us to get through our finances, and trust me, it works. So I'm saying this all to say that there are challenges that we face, the many challenges that we face over time after going through a divorce, you know, a breakup, having two salaries, and then it's one. But you can without a doubt come over on the other side smiling, because there's strength beyond all of that. And so for me, I'm just letting you know that Barbara Muckle, I've walked a mile in your shoes. There were times when I could not pay my bills, like I said before, but I learned to stay where I was not looking over the fence looking at someone else. I learned to stay on budget after coming face to face with all the expenses that I had. And I learned to tell my money where to go. And along the way is that you learn that it's not what you're earning, it's what you do with what you're earning. And so you're budgeting. And I try not to use the word budget a lot, because sometimes it's like, oh, like a hit in your stomach. But what I used was an envelope system, and I compartmentalize everything and tell my money where to go. If you're looking for a coach who can help you go through that, look no further. I'm here in Barbara Muckle, and I'm ready to help you to navigate that process, that financial process, to get you back where you want to go. At Barbara Muckle Coaching, I help women build their confidence. Um, Again, get used to budgeting, taking care of their monies, helping them again, co-parenting, so you can do it with ease, respectfully, right? As hard as it gets, and to build long-lasting relationship. Because there's love beyond divorce, right? If you're looking for that relationship, there's love beyond divorce. It's not a dead end, you know. I smile more today because I'm happier today, knowing that I am helping you and you to get to the place, get to your happy place where you can walk to and walk in your strength, and you can live the life that you want to live, right? Bit by bit, you can get there. I've done it, right? And so I can help you to do that. Again, I'm Barbara Muckle. Click the link below and let's talk. Schedule some time so we can talk, right? And I am looking forward to talking with you and helping you to get through those challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis, going from 2 salary, right, to just having 1. But you're not broken. You're just ready. You're not broken. You just ready to get to work and to get to where you're going. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.